In honor of Hayden.
There you go.
Up on the YouTube. Hello. Man, it is a scorcher out there today. Live on YouTube, live on Facebook. If everybody's in here, please get on your phone, like, comment, share the stream. Help me gain some friends. If you don't know who I am, I go by GoodTimeTommy. If you know who I am, you already know that shit. So today, I'm going to give a big shout out. Ed, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful I start moving today into my new place.
Now, Ed, you do have a doctor's note. And your doctor's note says...
Not work. Is that about moving?
Cannot work. Let's tell the story. Can we tell everybody the story, Ed?
Yeah.
Do you mind? Have you ever been to the doctor?
Of course.
Have you ever been to the doctor over an ailment?
Of course.
Shoulder, bone,
Yes.
something?
Yes.
Now, when you went to that particular doctor, did they tell you, hey, I need to give you a note to go back to your job and tell them you cannot work?
Yes.
Did they tell you that, or did you ask for it?
Don't recall.
I did a little
I had
research.
surgery, that's why. Not an
Have you ever been to the doctor, Shaywan?
Hardly ever.
Hardly ever. Ed went to the doctor the other day. He's got a bum shoulder. Have you ever seen him lay on the ground crying because of his shoulder? He was pulling his fingers and the shoulder popped out of socket. He's in a lot of pain. Therefore, he had to go to the doctor. He came back into the office and handed Van a note, and the note said, from TOA, cannot work. And Van looked at it and read it back, and Ed jerked it out of his hands like, I didn't know it said that. That's bullshit. I'm going to work. So then I told him, well, we had to tell our attorney and John this, so we're going to have to lay you off because of liability.
Right.
When did you feel like we were joking, Ed?
I don't know. I feel like it's... I don't know. It could be serious.
Could be. What if you were to come here and something were to happen? You've got the kind of luck that you might trip and fall, and I'll have to pay for your damn surgery. Because you've got a doctor's note that says, do not work. Moving right along. If you're on here, thank you. Today's going to be a fun show because, say what?
Sam said DSE.
What does DSE mean?
Dipshit Ed.
Dipshit Ed. Are you going to let Sam talk about you like that, Ed?
That's fine.
Well, you can't do nothing with that bum shoulder. I mean, shit. Let's see who all we got. Hayden, Allie, Shannon Wheeler, Austin Kepley. What's up? And yeah, today we are going to talk about, we're going to go down memory lane. We're going to talk about a gentleman by the name of Hayden McKee. I remember the first moment I met Hayden. He came in, and our office was reconfigured. It was different. Our big office. Were you ever around then? So we were up front. And I was teaching, I don't know if it was a Saturday or if it was a regular day. Do you remember what it was? It's a regular day.
Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday. You remember it like yesterday. And you're not a very smart remember person. Yeah. So he comes in on a Wednesday, and I'm in there talking, and like he comes in and he talks like a black dude. You know, he's got a big beard, and I'm like, who is this guy right here? And he's coming up and he's introducing himself to everybody in the office, and I'm trying not to talk to him. I'm like, who is he? It's like Weatherman's already told him, hey, you're working here. Did you tell him that?
Yeah.
So Shawan and Steven always went to this place called Milano's, and I guess they really, really liked him. And was it because he'd always remember y'all's order? He remembered everything about him. So about them and their order. So he comes in here like.
But he also followed your content.
Yes.
Well, I didn't.
And he asked us, he said, don't you guys sell real estate? And we were like, yes. And he said, don't y'all work for blah, blah, blah? Yes. He was like, well, I need to talk to y'all. I've got my real estate license. They've been hanging up at Colwell,
Mm-hmm.
and blah, 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 and da-da-da. And we said, come on.
So he comes in, and his first impression, just really, it wasn't really what I was looking for. I mean, he seemed, I don't even know how to describe him, but he had an energy about him, and I guess if you could get past some things, you would like him. So he comes in, and the first day I kind of ignore him, but he just keeps coming back, and then I'm like, okay, we're going to give him a chance. And then one day something happened where you three, you, Drew, and Hayden were doing something. I just sent y'all home. I can't remember what it was. And then Hayden comes back. He's like, I'm going to take my fuck you man to man. I'm like, all right, well, fuck you. You're not going to be here. Or something. I said so. I can't remember how it went. But today's show, I just want to talk about Hayden and how he has progressed from one time. Me and my wife went out of town and we let Hayden keep her dog. And that dog was like, hey, now listen, here's how you're going to have to do this. You're going to have to be here at a certain time. You got to let him out. You got to make sure he does this and he does that. So my wife, we had cameras in that house. And I noticed by 8 o'clock, he wasn't there. So I called and I was mad. And then I even had Nick call him. And he finally gets there about 9:30. 9:30, and he comes in, he's got Sebastian, and we're watching, and Lucky's in there. Finally, he gets to go outside, and then we're just looking, and it's like 10:30 at night, and Hayden is outside of the house, walking around the yard. I'm like, who's he got coming over there? What the hell's he got going on? At the time, I did not know what was going on until a few months later. A few months later, he told me let the damn dog out. The damn dog was running around the neighborhood, and when people would come by, he was stopping them. He had Sebastian on his shoulder, and he was stopping people on golf carts. I'm like, look, he's trying to get drugs over here. Look at this. He's looking for a drug dealer over here. So I didn't know at the time what was going on, and finally he said, man, if I'd have really told you what was going on, you would have fired me. I'm like, what? He's like, I was sitting in the bed with Sebastian, and Lucky was eating back where his food was, and I noticed he didn't come back. It was like 30 minutes, and Sebastian says he must be really hungry. So we walked to the back door, and that back door was wide open, and Lucky was gone. And Lucky was the kind of dog that would just take off. He wouldn't come back. Jax is a chicken shit. He'll run and come back and look and won't keep going till you come there with him. Lucky would just take off. So that was the Hayden that I grew to expect. Irresponsible, just almost to the point where you're like, man, is this guy ever going to get it? Is he ever? And it's hard when you're like in your mid to late 40s to give people mercy in their mid 20s. I don't know why it's like that, but you ever feel like that? You know, when I was that age, I was in worse shape than Hayden, but for some reason it was hard to give me mercy, and I was always frustrated around him. So over time, Weatherman and Shawan have really taken him in to where they have kind of trained him to not only be a realtor, but Weatherman has kind of showed him a tough love of how you become a man. And sorry, my best friend from Florida is texting me. So over time, I've seen a guy. You know, he's got a son, Sebi. We love. He comes in here. I scare the hell out of him. But I have seen a growth in Hayden that a lot of people would say, you know what? I saw Tommy grow like that. But my growth took about 10 years. And his has taken about 3 years. So now today, Hayden's 28 years old, and I'm very proud of what he's becoming, because I know he's nowhere near what he wants to be. But I think everybody would agree that the Hayden you see today versus the Hayden you saw 3 years ago, it's a remarkable transformation. And I like to share these cool stories because a lot of people ask me about Hayden and how he's doing, and you know, I don't tell Hayden how much I brag on him to other people, but I think a lot of people are noticing. And whenever you're going through a growth or a transformation where you're transforming from your past to this new version of yourself, it's like people don't want to acknowledge that truth for a long time. So Hayden, proud of you. And you should be proud of yourself, but it shouldn't give you permission to slow down on what you're doing and what you're going to become. So everybody, I want you to wish our boy Hayden a happy birthday. And, man, I'm proud of you. And I think everybody here would say I'm proud of you. What would you say, Josh?
Yeah, it's weird.
And he said, what's weird what you've done too?
Yeah, no, but it's weird. I don't know. It's weird.
What's weird about it?
It's cool. It's like a.
It is cool, but it just shows you. Here's what it shows you. It just shows you if you're tenacious enough. Like you, Ed, I'm hard on you, but and hopefully one day you're going to see what Hayden's done over time. If you just keep getting a little bit better, you don't get a lot better quick. You get a little bit better, and a little bit better, and over time, it's the time that makes you great. Everybody have a great day. Happy birthday, Hayden.